All right, welcome back. We're diving into part 4 of our series on Dale Carnegie's classic, and this time we're tackling leadership. And not just any part of leadership, but maybe the trickiest part. How do you change what someone's doing without them ending up hating you for it? So, let's just jump right in with a question we've all faced. Seriously, think about it. You've got to correct someone, you see a mistake that needs fixing, but one wrong word, one little bit of tone, and a simple fix turns into a huge conflict. That's like walking a tightrope, isn't it? And every single leader has to learn how to do it. And that right there, that's the leader's dilemma, isn't it? You have to guide people, you have to correct mistakes to be effective. But if you do it clumsily, you just create all this resentment that completely tanks morale and productivity. Well, Carnegie knew this, and he dedicated a whole part of his book to giving us some clear, actionable principles to solve this exact problem. Okay, so rule number 1. This one is a total game changer, really, because it completely flips the script on what we traditionally think of as authority. Instead of just barking commands from on high, Carnegie says a real leader doesn't order. They help people find the solution themselves.
So let's really break down the psychology of why this works. When you give someone a direct order, it can feel like a direct hit to their pride. It basically says, I'm smart, you're not. But a question? A question is an invitation. It's a way of saying, hey, let's figure this out together. It makes people want to do the thing, because they feel like they were part of the decision, not just a pawn in your game.
Okay, so that's the rule. Ask, don't order. Sounds simple enough. But what does it actually look like in the real world? Well, Carnegie gives us this perfect and honestly kind of cringeworthy example of what not to do that just illustrates the point beautifully.
Okay, so get this. The story goes, a student parks his car where he shouldn't, blocking a workshop entrance. One instructor just storms in and screams, literally screams, the words you see on the left. Move that car and move it right now, or I'll wrap a chain around it and drag it out of there. I mean, can you just feel the tension in that room? The student was publicly humiliated. You can bet he absolutely resented that instructor. Now, just imagine for a second. What if the instructor had just calmly walked in and asked, hey, is there a way we can move the car so others can get by?
And that's the key takeaway right there. Both approaches had the same goal: get the car moved. But the first one, the brash order, it didn't just move the car, it destroyed a relationship. The second one, the simple question, it would have solved the problem and preserved the student's dignity. It encourages cooperation instead of just outright rebellion.
And this whole idea of preserving someone's dignity, well, it leads us perfectly into Carnegie's second rule. And this one is about what to do when the stakes are even higher than just a badly parked car.
Saving face. It's all about remembering that a person's pride, their self-respect, is incredibly important to them. I mean, think about it. As a leader, you can be 100% correct about something, but if you prove someone wrong by just crushing their ego in the process, you haven't won. You've just made an enemy and lost their loyalty for good. It's such a critical mistake to make.
And for this one, Carnegie shares an absolutely brilliant story from the early days of General Electric. They were facing this massive problem with one of their most valuable employees. Seriously, this is a masterclass in leadership. Okay, so check this out. General Electric has this guy, Charles Steinmetz. He's an absolute genius with electricity, but he's a terrible manager, a disaster. So they need him out of that department head role, but they absolutely cannot afford to lose him or even hurt his feelings. He's just that valuable. So what do? They don't fire him, they don't demote him, no. They do something way smarter. It's like a bit of corporate jujitsu. They create a brand new, super prestigious sounding title for him, Consulting Engineer of the General Electric Company, which, by the way, was pretty much the work he was best at anyway, and then they just quietly let someone else take over his old department. So what happened? Steinmetz was thrilled. He felt honored by this new, important title. And GE was thrilled, because they now had the right person in the right job. They solved their problem completely without ever criticizing him and let their star player save face. I mean, how elegant is that? It's a brilliant solution that puts a person's dignity above everything else. So, after looking at these two really powerful principles and seeing them in action, what's the big takeaway here? What are the key lessons we should be putting into practice in our own lives?
Well, first, it's about shifting from giving orders to asking questions. That one little change can turn a potential confrontation into a collaboration. And second, always prioritize the other person's dignity. Look, a solution that humbles someone isn't really a solution at all. It's just planting a seed for a future problem. At the end of the day, true leadership isn't about flexing your authority. It's about earning respect by showing respect. And really, that's what it all boils down to, isn't it? The next time you have to find fault with someone, ask yourself, are you just going to give an order, or are you going to use that moment to build a leader? Thanks for tuning in.